Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and one important aspect of leveling in Project Ascension is being able to kill mobs in PvE and also defend yourself in PvP from other players. And this build fits that description perfectly. This build is called the Deadly Reckoning build. So the core philosophy and theme of this build is stealth and quick and hard attacks, using a prop paladin talent called Reckoning to absolutely burst your mobs down. And you also integrate loads of stuns and locks into this build, so your enemies can't do a thing about what you're doing. The build itself has very high single target and cleave damage, so it's perfect for leveling up and doing dungeons. A little disclaimer though guys, this build is a work in progress and it is a leveling build, so it may not be super viable at endgame, but I know for sure that I've been using it and it's been working a charm for me when I've been leveling my character. So what are the core abilities of this build? In the Subtlety Rogue talent tree, you'll want to pick up the ability Hemorrhage, which is an instant strike that deals 160% if a dagger is equipped. And this build is based around using daggers for fast attacks and really strong damage done by abilities, because a lot of abilities are scaled to the weapon which you are using, and daggers are really strong if you're using them. So Hemorrhage with a dagger is a very good damage ability. In that tree you can also pick up Ghostly Strike, which I think is actually a pretty good ability. It does 180% of your weapon damage, and it also increases your chance to dodge by 15%, which gives you quite a good kind of survivability aspect to it. It's not just a straight up damage ability, it also has an added effect to it. So I like to use Ghostly Strike. And then you want to pick up Stealth as well from the Subtlety Rogue ability list. In the Assassination Rogue ability list, you'll want to pick up Ambush, Rupture, Kidney Shot, and Cheap Shot if you wish. Now, this build can work with poisons or it can work with Frostbrand weapon. I've chosen poisons for this one because despite you having to level them up, they are very good if you do level them up. And they're much more flexible. You can add poisons which reduce casting times on enemies or reduce movement speed, so they're much more flexible, and you can also just have them pure damage. And not only that, but they do scale with your attack power, unlike Frostbrand, so they do good damage when you are maxing out your attack power. Now, other rogue abilities which you want to take are Sprint, just to get you out of any tight situations which you might get yourself into. Now obviously this is up to you what you take, because this is just a build outline, but those are the rogue abilities which I've been taking, and they are working very well for me. And there are also a few Shaman abilities which fit into this build very well. Like I mentioned earlier, Frostbrand weapon can be taken instead of poisons. I haven't tested it myself, but I know it will work just as good, if not better, than poisons. Frost Shock is a very good one for PvP. It's an instant cast slow, and it also deals damage. The only downside to it is the high mana cost, and with this build you're going to be putting all your points into agility agility and stamina. And then the last Shaman ability which you're going to take is Wind Shear, and this is a very strong interrupt ability. It's on a very short cooldown and is an instant cast interrupt spell, and it locks them out of that school of magic. So Wind Shear is a very strong ability to get. And then moving into the Paladin abilities that fit into this build, you have Seal of Command, which is a Retribution Paladin talent, and this is a seal which does damage on your weapon attacks. And because you're using daggers, you're doing a lot of fast weapon attacks, so you get a lot of damage from Seal of Command. And then we also have Judgment of Light, which is a passive heal which you put on the enemies during combat, and your melee attacks have a chance to heal you. And like before, because you're doing super fast attacks, you get quite a bit of heals from this ability. And then an out of combat heal, we've taken Holy Light just because it's a Paladin ability and it means we don't have to run to any extra trainers. And then for warrior abilities, we've got Cleave. Now Cleave is a great ability and it can be really buffed up by its talents in the Fury Warrior tree. If you take the talent Improved Cleave, it increases the bonus damage done by your Cleave ability by 120%. So this is a great rage dump for single and multiple targets to get that extra cleave damage in. The final warrior ability I take is a protection talent, and it's called Concussion Blow, and it is a 15 rage 30-second cooldown stun for 5 seconds, and it deals damage based on your attack power. So stacking all your points into strength and agility gives you very high attack power, so this ability will deal heavy damage, and it will also do that insane stun. So they're the main abilities which you want to take, and it's worth mentioning a talent in the Protection Paladin tree, which this build is all about. Reckoning, and it gives you a 10% chance after blocking or being hit by any damaging attack that your next 4 weapon swings within 8 seconds will generate an additional attack. Now this is insane for this build. Along with Seal of Command and Judgment of Light, as well as your poisons or Frostbrand, you're doing a lot of extra attacks which will proc lots of these extra procs. So you get a lot of procs from Seal of Command, and you'll also get a lot of procs from your poisons or from your Frostbrand attack. So the actual rotation for this build is very simple. You buff up Seal of Command, apply your weapon enhancement to your weapon, and you get into stealth, ambush or cheap shot the enemy, and then you judgment and then cleave / hemorrhage / ghostly strike your way to their death. And you obviously spend your combo points on kidney shot or rupture, depending what's on cooldown, and then you also use your concussion blow to stun them. So concussion blow is used on cooldown when kidney shot is also on cooldown. And with kidney shot and concussion blow, you can get them into a 10-second stun, which is definitely long enough to kill anything. So there we go guys, that is an overview for the Deadly Reckoning build, and obviously like all my builds, this is just a guideline, and I want you guys to go out there and experiment and make this your own. That's the whole point of my build guides. I'm not going to give you the answers, I'm going to give you something cool which I really like to do, and hopefully you guys can go out there and make it your own. But thank you very much for watching. In the comments, let me know what kind of builds you'd like to see in the future from my channel. But thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon.